Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Chakra Wisdom Tarot by Tori Hartman. Supportive Oracle cards, the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. That way, if you want to find those artists, there you go. Let's see. These cards are interesting. Sometimes they're really slippery. Other times they come right out without a problem, so it's interesting to me. Okay, let's grab some of these. Is that how those go face down there? Okay. Leo. The environment's doing something weird, that's for sure. It's interesting because when you start off in this, you've had success. You've had success using like a kid glove, like using the kid gloves, being very careful, being very, okay, let's step gingerly. Let's be careful what we say. Let's be careful what we do. You were very careful with this situation. For whatever reason, you felt it was necessary. And what I feel with Leo is like, if you believe that's how it needs to be done, then that's how it's done. You had to have been on board with this. There's no way this would have worked otherwise. Unless you thought that was the right thing to do, I just don't see this being a success. So you must have decided, kid gloves, let's be careful, let's do the walk on eggshells thing. And it seemed like that worked out very successfully for you. Okay. That's not really like the way of life for a Leo, though, to like step carefully and be very gentle with everything. It doesn't seem like that's the normal energy there. But what I'm also getting here with Owl Spirit right below it is kind of like, it has a crown on it, doesn't it? Yes, it does. I'm getting kind of like looking a situation over, and it's almost like you felt like this is how it had to be handled. It seems like other people seemed more expectant of this, though. That's what I'm getting for Owl Spirit. I know it says you see clearly now, but it seems like there was an expectation created here. That's what really I'm connecting to. I'm an intuitive reader, so use what you want from this card, but I'm getting like an expectation was either created or this is what whoever you were dealing with, that's what they expect people to do. To treat them all so nicely and very carefully. As it keeps moving forward from that energy, because I'm like, that's weird. It feels very like entitled too. It's a little bit, I don't really like entitled energy really. But, what comes in next is the Coyote Spirit. Whoever this was, or whatever the situation was, it seems to understand that you doing things really gently and really like, yes, please, thank you. Not that manners are a thing. It's not manners. It's more just kind of like, oh, are you okay? Can you do this? Are we going to be able to just, oh, let's do this slowly. Oh, here, I'll put this over for you. Like, doing things really like that is not common for you and just does not feel natural. Like, if you were dealing with a literal child and the literal child needed that, well, that's one thing. But if it's an adult, I don't know. They seem to, with the coyote here, I'm feeling like it's kind of like a little bit of a cat and mouse game is what I'm feeling with it. And they've got the white raven coming up in the environment, which to me is kind of like the white raven has its place. The white raven does well in winter is what I'm feeling. The white raven, though, seems to be more of a target during like the more colorful months, like summer or spring, you know what I mean? Because it sticks right out. What I'm also getting from this is kind of like this person knows their season is going to pass. This isn't going to keep working. And, you may have played it one way with this, with the situation, but they know it's not going to continue forever that way. They seem to be at least clued in that much, like, yeah, that first part, okay, okay. But we're not going to live life like that. Now, you're going to come back into your own at this point. you're definitely going to come back into your own. So for whatever reason you thought that was necessary, that's going to be a transition moment. I just don't see you living like that. I just don't see it sustainable. The butterfly spirit comes in. It's kind of like true colors come forward. You try to do it a little while, but you can only stand that for so long. True colors come forward. There is an 11 at the top of that, so whatever you feel that means for you. I know some people are very attached to the 11 number for certain reasons. I'm kind of feeling like you're feeling your oats. You're kind of like, this is how this needs to go. It's enough of this bull. Let's get into the truth of the situation. Now, I feel like you're kind of changing things around. Like you might have been very, delicate in the beginning, but the butterfly spirit is also telling me you're not just like jumping it forward like, all right, kid gloves today, boxing gloves tomorrow. It's not like that. But it's like you're transitioning it in there. You're starting to move it forward. The true colors are starting to come out. You're starting to communicate a little bit more directly with this person. You got the Ace of Swords with the King of Swords. You're re-establishing this foundation. You're starting to realize this person or whatever you're dealing with doesn't have to be handled that delicately. Maybe that's what they like or whatever the situation is likes, but it doesn't have to go that way. And you're starting to communicate that that's not how it's going to go. You're also reestablishing the situation with the Ace of Coins and the Five of Coins. The situation is going to be more solid. It's going to be more honest. There may be an emotional disconnect. When I'm getting the Five of Coins, I feel like there might be an emotional disconnect, but I feel like that's doable to you. I feel like you're going to do what you have to do with this situation because this can only keep going the way it has for so long. Princess of Cups shows up with the wolf, not the wolf, that's the buffalo spirit. Buffalo spirit in the environment. Whatever is changing, whoever you're dealing with, they know they can make this. They can weather this. They can do it the way you want it to be done. They're semi-okay with it because I feel like you set up a foundation where they feel like you genuinely care about them. They're having a hard time doing it the way you want it to be done right now. I feel like this is heading towards that emotional disconnect. This is before that emotional disconnect. This is where it's building from. But I feel like when this person starts to pull back more, it's because they find you harsh. They think you're a little too harsh. I don't think you're all that harsh, but they think of you as harsh. And they don't really know what to do with the situation. They seem to be just kind of flowing with it. With the Moon card here, they're not really sure if you like them or if you don't like them at this point. They're not really sure how you feel about them. Because they got the past here where you were very, very kid glove about it. And now you're bringing things back up to full speed. And you've gotten them back. When you finally do get them back up to full speed, it's completely foreign to them. So they don't know what to do. Like, are you more like the past? Are you currently is the current what's going on? Is that who this really is? They don't know where to really latch on to. They want to go back to the way it was. They want the kid gloves experience again, but I think they're realizing that's not going to happen anymore. You're putting the situation into a whole new phase. What I'm getting here, and things seem to get quite complicated in my opinion. You got things solidifying in a whole new way. You got the Princess of Coins with covering the world. So this new change is going to stick. The new way you're doing things, that's how it's going to be done from now on. How fast or slow you make that happen is up to you. That's why that's crossing that. But once it gets there, it's going to stay. It's just how long are you going to let it go before, like how slow are you going to let this person or situation develop before it finally gets there? Because it seems like you have some type of tempo or some type of schedule about how fast you want that to go, I guess. How long are you going to allow this? This disconnect with this situation or person, it's emotional. But I feel like that's how it's going to go from now on. I feel like it's going to be emotionally disconnected. Now, if this is a relationship situation, that could be heading for some problems. I get that. So if this is a relationship, like a romantic relationship, this emotional disconnect is going to cause more problems later. If it's more work-oriented, I feel like it might be okay because it might be more about business than anything else, so it might be okay. I say that with trepidation. You got to decide for yourself. Because once you get going at full speed, you're not going to back down. The Badger spirit here, it says be fearless and bold, which kind of makes sense. This is an energy that's kind of like, well, when I've decided what's going to happen, guess what? That's what happens. Once I've decided, then that's what's happening. And that's what we're going to do. you're going to be very happy bringing things back up to full speed. That's the way it needs to be. Things are more natural for you. This little kid glove walking on eggshells stuff, done with that. That's not me, not about it. Once you get it up to speed, kind of like, let's deal with each other as adults, let's get things done, here you go, this is that, you're going to be very happy and content. So you're going to be very comfortable when things are right where they should be. I'm wondering if you're going to pick up on the cues of other people not being happy or this other person not being happy, because I'm kind of feeling like they're holding it back. They're not really talking. They got the Queen of Swords on its side, they got the Death card on its side, they got the Seven of Swords. See, this is a problem. If this is a relationship situation, this is a problem. Because I feel like somebody's not saying how they feel. They got the Seven of Swords. They're not saying, but they have a lot to say with the Queen of Swords. They have a lot to say, but they're not. That's why it's on its side. And then the Death card is saying this might be heading for like a brick wall. This might be coming into a big problem. The person who's not saying anything is hoping, because they got the Starfish spirit here, like things are going to reconstitute, things are going to come back together, they just got to give it time to heal. What is this saying here? Open to infinite possibility. That kind of makes sense. There's a lot of possibilities here. Like they feel like it will heal, it'll be okay. They just got to let things kind of calm down. I don't think that's right though. Because as things keep going forward, you got the Nine of Cups with the Two of Wands right over it. You're going to be making more decisions, more advancements the way it's currently going. No more kid glove stuff. You're not going to do it. So it's going to keep going forward and more decisions are going to be made, and that's how it's going to be. It's not going to be going back to the way it was. At some point, there's going to be some type of conflict. Because I feel like this other person has to explain how they feel. Other colors are going to come out. It says parrot, and watch your words. That might be it. Colorful spirit coming out, expressing what they're thinking. It might come off like a bomb. Because they're going to hold it back, 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 hold it back. Boom! And there, here it comes. Not that you can't weather that, but that's probably not going to put you in a good mood. I wouldn't say you would be in the negotiation spirit when somebody, explodes onto you. I don't see you going, oh, that's great. I feel like you're going to defend yourself, and you'd be like, if they explode on you, you're going to explode back. You got Eagle Spirit on your side with the High Priestess. Spirit has your back. But that's what it says on the card. I feel like you know exactly what you want. I feel like precision. I feel like knowing what you need to say. I feel like control of communication with Eagle Spirit. Like control, precision. I know what I'm going to say. This person's going to blow up on you, but I'm noticing you're not blowing up back. You're just kind of like, okay, you have a problem. Let's deal with it. That's not an option. This, I guess we could work with this. Let's deal with that. You seem to be very much in control. Somebody's blowing up at you is what I'm feeling, but you're just kind of like, okay, let me see. What are you blowing up about? Let me absorb it. Let me deal with it, and we'll go through it. High Priestess with the Eagle especially. These two, you have control, and you're looking at the good and bad of the situation. You're trying to be like, all right, how bad of a problem is this, and what do we need to do to fix it? You got the Wombat Spirit. It says be at home, but that kind of makes me feel, it's kind of like, all right, is this fixable? Can we reconstitute this so we're all comfortable? Because you're already comfortable being back at full speed. The other side is clearly not, because when they blow up at you. So I feel like there's some negotiations going on here, and it's kind of like, can we make this a comfortable spot? Can we make this a homey spot again? I wouldn't say it's automatically going to go there. I feel like it's going to take some work, and it's going to, you have to look through it and be like, all right, is this going to work out, or is this not going to work out? Because once the truth comes forward and you're comfortable the way you're living, and the other side's like, I'm not comfortable. Is there a happy medium, or is this saying something else has to happen here? So it's like, who's more? Can there be a comfortable home here, or are we going to have to do some other changes? All right, I think we're there. That's what it's ending at, like figuring out, like, can this be worked out? I don't think that's an automatic win. I think that's saying you have to get to that point, can this be worked out? That's what you're headed for. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.